Welcome to our YouTube channel Dream Dynamics.
Have you ever felt drained by someone's negativity? By practicing patience and compassion, you can stay calm no matter what energy others bring. And through meditation, you'll learn to observe your emotions without reacting impulsively. Understanding that everyone carries their own pain helps you develop empathy instead of frustration. In silence, you can disarm negativity and protect your peace. Stay with me and discover how these timeless teachings can transform your life and your relationships. The influence of negativity in our lives. We've all been there. You walk into a room feeling good, your energy is high, maybe you're even excited about the day ahead. And then, someone's negativity hits you like a wave. It might be a coworker who constantly complains, a family member who criticizes everything you do, or even a stranger who just radiates bad vibes. And before you realize it, your mood has shifted. Suddenly, you're feeling drained, irritated, or tense. You might snap at someone else, or just feel heavy for the rest of the day. Why does this happen? Why does someone else's negativity have so much power over how we feel? The answer is simple. We're all connected. Whether we like it or not, our minds and emotions are sensitive to the energy around us. When we're surrounded by stress, anger, or complaints, it's easy to get pulled into the same negative frequency. But here's the good news. Buddhism teaches us that we don't have to be victims of other people's negativity. We can choose a different response, one that protects our peace without needing to argue, explain, or even speak. In life, we can't avoid negative people. They're part of the world, just like the rain or the wind. We can't control their actions, words, or thoughts. But we can control our own energy and how we respond. Instead of wasting time and energy trying to change others or reacting to their bad moods, we can learn to neutralize their negativity without saying a single word. This isn't just theory. Monks and practitioners have used these teachings for centuries to protect their inner peace. They live in the same imperfect world we do. They face challenges, difficult people, and negativity, but they don't let it touch their core. And they don't need to fight or argue to stay calm. They use simple yet powerful principles that anyone can practice. In this video, you'll learn how to shift your perspective and take back your peace. We'll talk about why negativity feels so powerful and how you can build an inner strength that makes you immune to it. You'll discover how to stay grounded even when someone else is losing control, and how to walk through life with a quiet confidence that negativity can't shake. So, if you're ready, let's start this journey. Together we'll explore the wisdom that has helped millions of people live with more peace, even in the middle of chaos. Understanding the nature of suffering. If we want to disarm negativity without saying a word, we first need to understand where it really comes from. Negativity doesn't appear out of nowhere. It has a cause, and that cause is suffering. All human beings experience dukkha, which can be translated as suffering, dissatisfaction, or an underlying sense of discomfort with life. No one escapes it. The person who constantly complains, the one who criticizes everything, the one who lashes out in anger, they're all showing the world their inner suffering. They might not be aware of it, and they might not have the tools to handle it in a healthier way, but that pain is driving their behavior. Think about it. When you've been stressed, hurt, or angry, how did you treat the people around you? Even if you didn't mean to, there were probably moments when you were less patient, more reactive, maybe even unfair. We've all been there. The difference is that some people get stuck in that state and don't know how to break free from it. The problem is, we often take it personally. If someone speaks to us with a harsh tone or throws a critical comment our way, we feel attacked. It's easy to think they're doing it to us. But when we apply, we start to see things differently. That person isn't fighting with you, they're struggling with themselves. You just happen to be standing in front of them when their pain spills over. This understanding changes everything. Instead of feeling offended or angry, you can feel compassion. Instead of reacting with frustration, you can remain calm. You recognize their negativity as a symptom of their suffering, not as a reflection of who you are or what you've done. And in that moment, you free yourself from their emotional control. That's the first step to disarming negativity without saying a word, shifting your perception. When you stop seeing it as an attack and start seeing it as a reflection of their inner world, you no longer give it power over you. You stay grounded, steady, and peaceful. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how patience becomes your shield, helping you hold onto that calm energy no matter what comes your way. Patience as a shield. Cultivating inner serenity. Once we understand that other people's negativity comes from their own suffering and not from anything we've done, the next step is learning how to protect ourselves from it. And in Buddhism, one of the most powerful ways to do this is through patience. But not the kind of patience where you just grit your teeth and wait for things to pass. True patience in Buddhism is an active force. It's a shield that keeps your inner peace untouched, no matter what's happening around you. Think about how we usually react when someone is being negative. If someone speaks to us with an angry tone, we often feel the urge to respond in kind. If someone criticizes us, we get defensive. And when we do that, we're stepping right into their world of negativity. We're letting their suffering pull us down into the same emotional state. It becomes a tug-of-war that drains our energy and leaves us feeling even worse than before. But patience gives us another option. Instead of reacting right away, we create a pause. We give ourselves a moment to breathe and stay centered. We don't have to prove ourselves right, win an argument, or teach anyone a lesson. We can choose silence. We can choose stillness. And in that choice, we protect our peace. Negativity is like an unwanted gift. If you don't take it, it stays with the person who brought it. This is the heart of patience. You don't have to take on someone else's anger or pain. You don't have to let their energy become yours. You can stay in your own space, grounded in your own peace, without being pulled into their drama. It doesn't mean you have to put up with disrespect or abuse. Setting boundaries is important. But you can set those boundaries without anger or resentment. You can walk away from a conversation if it's getting toxic, but you can do it with calm, not with frustration. That's the strength patience gives you. One of the easiest ways to cultivate this patience is through conscious breathing. Whenever you feel someone's negativity creeping in, take a slow, deep breath. Remind yourself, this is not mine. Imagine their words or energy passing by you, like a cloud drifting through the sky. You don't have to catch it. You can just let it float by. Over time, this practice builds a strong inner calm. And something interesting happens when people realize they can't trigger you anymore. Their need to provoke you often fades away. It's like a fire that goes out when it runs out of fuel. When you don't react, you're no longer giving them the energy they're looking for. Patience isn't about being passive. It's about being so grounded in your own peace that no one can shake it. And when you live from that place, the negativity of others starts to lose its grip on you. In the next chapter, we'll explore meditation as the ultimate practice for strengthening that calm and building a mind that observes without reacting. Meditation as a tool for observation and non-reaction. By now, we've seen how understanding and patience can protect us from the negativity of others. But if we want to take this practice deeper, we need something that strengthens our mind from within. That tool is meditation. Meditation isn't just about sitting quietly or feeling relaxed. It's about training the mind to stay clear, steady, and aware, especially when life gets challenging. And when it comes to dealing with negative people, meditation gives us the ability to observe without reacting. Normally, when someone throws negativity our way, we react instantly. We feel offended, defensive, angry. We tense up and say something we might later regret. These are automatic reactions, And they happen because we haven't trained ourselves to pause. Meditation gives us that pause. It creates a space between what happens to us and how we respond. And in that space, we have freedom. We no longer have to get pulled into someone else's emotional chaos. We can choose to stay centered. If the water is calm and clear, you can see straight to the bottom. But if it's stirred up by wind or rain, everything becomes murky. Our minds work the same way. When we're agitated, every little thing upsets us. But when we're steady and clear, we can see what's really going on, and we can choose how to respond. The practice that helps us cultivate this clarity is surprisingly simple. It's called breath meditation. You sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. You don't need to control your breathing. Just notice it. Inhale, exhale. As thoughts come and go, and they will, you gently bring your attention back to the breath. Over time, this simple act strengthens your ability to stay present. And this is where the real magic happens. The more we practice observing the breath, the more we strengthen the part of our mind that observes everything. We become better at noticing when emotions arise, without immediately following them. If someone speaks to you harshly, instead of feeling instant anger, you notice there's anger rising. But you don't have to act on it. You watch it, breathe, and let it pass. It's like sitting by the side of a road, watching cars go by. The cars are your thoughts and emotions. In meditation, you don't jump into every car. You watch them come, you watch them go. And the same skill applies in real life. When negativity comes your way, you can stay seated on the side of the road. You don't have to get carried away by the noise. This doesn't mean you'll never feel irritated again. Even the most experienced meditators still have emotions. But meditation gives you a tool to stay calm in the middle of those emotions. It teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are not your reactions. You are the one who observes them. And the more you meditate, the easier it becomes to apply this in daily life. Maybe a coworker starts complaining for the third time today. Instead of feeling drained, you take a deep breath. You realize their complaints aren't your burden to carry. You stay calm, you stay kind, or you quietly move on. No reaction needed. Meditation helps you build a mental habit of spaciousness. There's room for everything to exist. Your thoughts, their negativity, the chaos of the world, but none of it has to disturb your peace. You create a calm center within yourself. And the stronger that center becomes, the less anything on the outside can shake it. Some people think meditation is about escaping reality, but it's the opposite. It's about being fully present in reality, without being controlled by it. When you practice this regularly, you stop reacting to every little thing. You become more intentional, more patient, and more peaceful. This is why meditation is the foundation of non-reaction. It trains you to observe without judgment, to stay calm without effort. And when you live from this space, the negativity of others loses its power over you. Next, we'll explore how developing compassion can take this even further, transforming not just your experience, but the energy of those around you. Developing compassion. Understanding the pain behind negativity. Compassion is one of the most powerful forces we can develop to disarm negativity without saying a single word. It's not just about feeling sorry for someone or tolerating bad behavior. True compassion is about deeply understanding the suffering that lies beneath another person's negativity, and allowing that understanding to guide how we respond. When someone is negative toward us, whether they're criticizing, complaining, or acting out in anger, our first instinct is usually to push them away. We might get defensive, annoyed, or even feel the urge to fight back. But when we react that way, we're only feeding the cycle of negativity. It becomes an endless back and forth of hurt and frustration. There's another way. And that way begins with compassion. Imagine this. You're walking through a village and you see a dog that's been hurt. It's in pain, and as you approach, it growls or even tries to bite you. Do you get angry at the dog for acting aggressively? Probably not. You understand that it's afraid, in pain, and just trying to protect itself. You don't take it personally. You feel compassion, knowing that its aggression is a response to its suffering. Now apply that to people. When someone is lashing out or constantly negative, it's usually because they're dealing with pain we can't see. Maybe they're stressed about something in their personal life. Maybe they feel unappreciated, lonely, or insecure. Or maybe they've carried heavy emotional wounds for years and don't know how to handle them in a healthy way. What we experience as their negativity is often just the surface of much deeper suffering. This is where compassion changes everything. Instead of seeing a negative person, we start to see a human being who is struggling. Their anger, their criticism, their complaints, these are just symptoms of that struggle. And when we see them in this way, it becomes much harder to take their behavior personally. This is where we consciously send out goodwill and kind wishes to others, even those who are difficult. We might repeat silently, "May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace." At first, it might feel strange or even impossible to do this for someone who seems to be draining our energy. But the more we practice, the more we soften our own hearts. We develop genuine compassion, and with that compassion comes an inner strength. It's important to understand that compassion doesn't mean allowing someone to mistreat you. You can set healthy boundaries with kindness. You can remove yourself from a situation without anger. Compassion doesn't make you weak. It gives you the power to act from wisdom instead of reactivity. When you look at someone through the lens of compassion, you stop needing to prove them wrong or win an argument. You realize that engaging in negativity only deepens their suffering, and yours. Think about a time when you were hurting, stressed, or overwhelmed. What helped you most? Probably not someone telling you to calm down or pointing out your flaws. Most likely, it was someone who simply understood, someone who made you feel safe and seen. That's what compassion does. And when we offer it to others, even silently, it can change the entire energy of the situation. There's a powerful teaching from the Dalai Lama that says, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Compassion benefits everyone. It dissolves the walls that negativity builds and creates space for healing, even if it's just within yourself. In moments where someone's negativity feels overwhelming, take a breath and remind yourself, they are suffering. It doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it helps you respond from a place of understanding instead of reaction. Sometimes, compassion is simply not reacting. Sometimes, it's walking away without resentment. And sometimes, it's offering a kind word or gesture, even when it's not expected. The more you develop compassion, the more immune you become to negativity. You stop absorbing other people's pain as your own. Instead, you radiate calm and understanding, and often, that energy can soften even the hardest hearts. But even if it doesn't, you'll have protected your own peace, and that is something no one can take away from you. In the next chapter, we'll look at simple daily practices that can help you stay anchored in this compassion and inner peace, no matter where you are or who you're with. Daily practices to maintain inner peace. Understanding the root of negativity, practicing patience, meditating regularly, and developing compassion are powerful tools. But for all these to truly take root, we need to bring them into our daily lives in a simple, consistent way. Inner peace isn't something we achieve once and then keep forever without effort. It's a practice, a discipline. And when we make it part of our daily routine, it becomes easier to stay grounded, no matter what kind of energy surrounds us. One of the simplest yet most effective things you can do is to start your day with intention. So many people wake up and immediately get swept up by their phones, emails, or social media. They dive straight into other people's problems, news, and noise without ever checking in with themselves first. This sets the tone for a day where you're reacting to everything instead of creating your own experience. But if you take just a few minutes in the morning to sit quietly, breathe, and remind yourself of how you want to feel today, calm, steady, patient, you give your mind a different starting point. You set an intention that can guide your reactions throughout the day. Another practice that makes a huge difference is mindful observation. As you go through your day, pay attention to how you feel in different situations, especially when you're interacting with difficult people. Instead of reacting instantly to negativity, observe your body. Notice when you start to tense up, when your breath becomes shallow, when frustration rises. Don't judge it. Just notice it, and then breathe. Even a single conscious breath can bring you back to yourself and give you space to choose a calm response. You can also practice compassion in small, quiet ways throughout your day. If someone around you is complaining or acting negative, silently wish them peace. You don't need to say anything out loud. Just think to yourself, "May you find ease. May you be free from suffering." This keeps your own heart open and prevents you from absorbing their negativity. It's a way of protecting yourself without closing off or becoming defensive. Gratitude is another practice that helps maintain inner balance. At the end of the day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it was a moment of peace during your lunch break, a kind smile from a stranger, or just the fact that you kept your cool in a challenging situation. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what's wrong and helps you appreciate what's right. And the more you focus on what's good in your life, the less space negativity has to take hold. It's also important to be mindful of the people you spend time with. While we can't always avoid negative people, we can choose to surround ourselves with those who uplift us whenever possible. Spend time with people who inspire you, who remind you of the person you want to be. This doesn't mean cutting people out harshly, but rather balancing your energy by nurturing positive connections. Finally, remember that your environment matters. Create spaces that support your peace. Maybe it's a quiet corner of your home where you meditate, or a playlist that brings you calm during your commute. Little things make a big difference in maintaining inner balance throughout the day. These daily practices are like watering a plant. At first, the changes are subtle, but over time, they grow into a steady presence of peace that stays with you, no matter where you are or who you're dealing with. When you practice this regularly, the negativity of others no longer shakes you the way it used to. Instead, you become a source of calm for yourself and even for those around you. In the next chapter, we'll explore how all these teachings come together to transform your relationships, moving from conflict to harmony, and helping you navigate the world with greater ease. Transforming relationships from conflict to harmony. Dealing with negative people is never easy. Sometimes it's a random encounter with someone whose energy drains you, and other times it's someone close, a colleague, a family member, a partner, who seems stuck in a cycle of criticism, anger, or frustration. But once we understand the root of their negativity, and we've practiced patience, meditation, and compassion, we're ready to take a step further. We can start to transform our relationships. Not by changing the other person, but by changing the energy we bring into the connection. One of the biggest mistakes we make in relationships is thinking we have to fix the other person. We believe if we just explain things the right way, argue hard enough, or show them how wrong they are, they'll change. But that rarely works. In fact, it usually makes things worse. When we push against someone's negativity with our own resistance, it turns into a battle of egos. Nobody wins. When we bring calm, grounded energy into a relationship, something powerful happens. People feel it. Even if they don't understand it consciously, they sense the difference. If you remain steady and peaceful while someone else is upset, they eventually notice that their energy isn't having the usual effect. The cycle they're used to, where they throw negativity at someone and get a reaction back, doesn't happen. And when there's no reaction to fuel the conflict, the dynamic starts to shift. This doesn't mean it's always easy. You'll be tested. There will be moments when you feel the pull to snap back, defend yourself, or shut down emotionally. But if you can stay connected to your inner peace, you become a stable presence in the relationship. Sometimes, that's enough to help the other person calm down. Other times, it simply allows you to walk away without resentment, keeping your own energy clean. Another important part of transforming relationships is setting clear, kind boundaries. Compassion doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior. You can be understanding of someone's pain without letting them take it out on you. Setting a boundary might mean stepping away from a conversation, choosing not to engage in gossip, or calmly saying, "I'm not willing to have this discussion right now." The key is to do it without anger, without blame, just a clear statement of what's healthy for you. And over time, as you stay consistent in your energy, people notice. Some may soften, some may not. But either way, you're free. You're no longer tied to the need for approval, or stuck in patterns of conflict. You're leading by quiet example, showing that peace is possible even in difficult relationships. It's also important to celebrate the small wins in this process. Maybe a conversation that would have turned into an argument stays calm. Maybe you notice yourself feeling less triggered by someone's comments. These are signs that you're transforming your relationships, not by force, but by shifting your own energy. In the end, it's not about changing other people. It's about showing up differently yourself. And when you do, your presence creates a space where harmony can grow. Even in a world full of negativity, you can choose to be the calm center in the storm. In the next and final chapter, we'll bring everything together and explore how to live in balance in an imperfect world, holding onto your peace no matter what life brings. Living in balance in an imperfect world. Negativity is a part of life. No matter how much inner work we do, no matter how patient or compassionate we become, we will still encounter people who are angry, frustrated, or lost in their own suffering. We can't control that. What we can control is the energy we carry and how we choose to respond. Throughout this journey, we've learned that negativity often comes from a place of deep suffering. Understanding that opens the door to compassion. We've seen how patience acts as a shield, giving us space to choose peace over reaction. Meditation has taught us how to steady the mind, creating the clarity to observe rather than be pulled into drama. And compassion has given us the strength to meet others with kindness, without losing ourselves in their pain. But this isn't just something we practice once. It's a way of living. Each day is another chance to strengthen that inner calm. Some days it will be easy. You'll feel grounded, unshaken, centered. Other days, you'll get caught off guard. You might react in ways you wish you hadn't. And that's okay. What matters is that you keep returning to the practice. Each moment is a new opportunity to begin again. Living in balance doesn't mean life becomes quiet or simple. It means you find your own quiet within the noise. You carry peace with you, not because the world is peaceful, but because you have built peace inside yourself. That peace becomes a light for others. Sometimes, just your presence, calm, steady, compassionate, will change the energy in a room. Not because you said anything, but because people feel you're calm and respond to it. And remember, this journey is not about being perfect. It's about being present, staying connected to your breath, returning to your center, choosing not to carry what isn't yours, being gentle with yourself when things get hard, and knowing that, no matter what is happening around you, your peace is always available inside you. Thank you for joining me on this path toward greater understanding and inner strength. If you found these teachings helpful, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring more ways to live with peace, compassion, and wisdom. And if you've experienced moments where you've managed to stay calm around negativity, Share them in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else. Take care of yourself. Take care of your peace. And remember, sometimes the greatest power lies in saying nothing at all. See you in the next video.